I've always thought of myself as a responsible consumer. I bring my own bags to the grocery store, I use a reusable water bottle and coffee mug, and I recycle. And then I look at my trash can. This is all of my trash for just one single month. That is way too much. And that's just me. Globally, we produce 2.01 billion metric tons of waste annually. And the most dangerous of that waste is plastic. If current trends continue, researchers estimate that in the next 30 years, there'll be more plastic in our ocean than there are fish. Plastic that will take between 400 to 1,000 years before it decomposes. Canada and the United States are the worst and second worst contributors of solid waste per person in the world. And that's embarrassing. But what this also means is that as North Americans, this is a problem where we actually have significant control over the solution. So I want to make a real change in my life around this issue. And to start, I'm gonna try to go 1 week without contributing a single item of trash. I wanna live zero waste for 7 days. On day 1, I link up with my friend Levi.
Welcome, my dude.
That's super annoying.
Levi runs a YouTube channel based around environmentalism and sustainability, and how you don't need to be a hero to make a difference. Levi is gonna help me get started with my zero waste starter kit, which includes reusable cutlery, reusable straws, water bottle, travel mug, produce bags, a food container, silicone bags, and glass jars.
My recommendation is getting that kit into a bag that you bring with you everywhere. That's the first thing, is just like tricking yourself into doing it so that you are able to be zero waste as possible. This is what people get really confused about zero waste, is they think zero waste is like zero waste. They see that video with the girl with the jar a whole year in one jar, and everybody's like, oh, I can't do that. And the reality is that it's not like that. It's the striving towards a world that is without waste. Okay, so I think now we should go and sort of get a bit of a feel for the zero waste world that you're dipping your toes into. We're gonna go check out a place called Nada, and it's like a grocery store that has completely done away with packaging.
Nada is Canada's first packaging-free grocery store. Here you can buy produce, frozen and refrigerated items, along with liquids, dry goods, and even cleaning supplies, all without any unnecessary waste. Nada utilizes reusable containers in their custom-designed tagging system, where it logs the weight of your jar and then deducts the weight of your jar when you pay. I found this whole process really easy and simple to navigate, and I was able to get my groceries without any waste at all. After a quick grocery haul, I say goodbye to Levi, and I start my zero waste journey on my own. We might have a problem. It's late, there's only a few stores left open, and I need toilet paper now. The only problem with that is I think they're only gonna be wrapped in plastic, so I might have to get some waste. I gotta go to the store. I've never in my life felt so ashamed for buying toilet paper. The next day, I try to pinpoint all of the single-use plastics that I have in my home. So much of our toiletries, office supplies, and our food packaging are all single-use items. That's why in America, it's estimated that each individual throws away roughly 1,360 pounds of trash every year. So basically the weight of a grizzly bear in trash per person. This amount of waste is largely due to the fact that single-use items are a part of everything we do. I wanted to order something from Amazon today and I couldn't because I know that it's gonna come with unnecessary plastic packaging or papers that are all immediately just gonna go into the trash. I also went to the grocery store today to literally just pick up one thing of pasta, one single package, and every single one had plastic in the packaging. My biggest takeaway from this isn't just how much plastic we use, but how little I actually think about it. Last night I tried to get takeout and I ended up going hungry because not a single place offered compostable packaging at that hour. Trying to be zero waste requires more than just thinking about how much plastic we use, but actually planning for it. So going forward, I want to be better at planning so that I'm not as inconvenienced as I have been these last couple of days. By day 6, it feels like I'm starting to get the hang of things. I have a painless trip to the grocery store, and I really start to make use of my zero waste kit. I even swap out a few of my single-use household items for compostable and reusable options.
On day 7, I'm heading out to a local music festival to celebrate my buddy's birthday. Music festivals are typically a wasteland for plastics and trash, so my goal is to take part in all the festivities without creating any waste. My first goal is to see if I can get a beer using my reusable water bottle rather than a plastic cup.
They're doing it. That's so sick.
Beer bottle in hand, the rest of the day is set up for success. The festival surprisingly does an amazing job of minimizing waste, and I'm able to utilize my zero waste kit to help me prevent producing any trash throughout the entire day.
After 7 days, this has been a very eye-opening experience. Trying to live without throwing away any trash is really difficult. So difficult that I screwed up within the first 24 hours. But what's been so frustrating is realizing that the only reason this is so difficult is because we've designed nearly all of our food, shopping, and shipping purchases to incorporate large amounts of single-use plastics. And it doesn't have to be that way. Shopping at Nada really helped me see what shopping could look like if large chains had to prioritize serious reductions in waste. The challenge with trying to make broad changes like this is it feels radical, and that can make us feel uneasy, even resistant to accept it. In psychology, this is known as status quo bias, and it's useful in understanding human decision-making by recognizing that we feel most comfortable when we're maintaining what's familiar. Conversely, we perceive any deviation from that familiarity as something being lost. But what do we actually lose in moving away from wrapping everything we buy in plastic? Well, a certain amount of convenience for one, a percentage of corporate profits may decrease as packing items for shipping would take slightly longer, and I expect finding new ways to apply security tags on certain items would take some figuring out. But if you think these costs fall far short of what we lose if we continue producing trash at the rate we're going, then there's 2 things I'd encourage you to do. 1, put together your own kit for reducing your own waste. Levi actually just put out a video where he breaks down all the items in his own kit in a lot more detail than I do in this video, so I definitely encourage you to go and check that out. And secondly, try to find people in your community who also care about this issue. See if you can get other stores around you to provide more waste-free options, because this kind of change only seems crazy until it starts to happen, and after that, it just becomes the new status quo.
Before I go, I want to say a huge thank you to Levi for helping out with this challenge, and to Nada as well for letting us film there. We posted a fair bit of behind the scenes content on our Instagram stories while we were filming this video, so if you're not following us there and you want to see stuff like that, then definitely check us out on Instagram. And yeah, that's it for me, guys. I'll catch you in the next video. Cheers.